today.
Yeah, triggers.
Ooh.
Something
Quite challenging for everyone.
Yeah, I know. Boy, I've been triggered so much throughout my life.
A lot.
And still continued.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, we want to talk about
share
our
our experience, how we deal with triggers.
Yeah. So first off, I'd say I feel that we're a bit blessed in the fact of
Meeting.
where we met.
Meeting on biodynamic breath and trauma release workshop gave us an opportunity to look at each other, and on these workshops you are going over there to literally look at your triggers. Traumas, triggers.
And to learn to develop a relationship with your felt sense, with what's going on with your feelings.
Exactly.
And it's kind of like turning up with your life's baggage.
Yeah.
And saying, all right, I want to deal with this. Which takes a lot of courage in itself to
open this rucksack that you are carrying and picking up all the things and looking at them and so like, oh my God, I need to check it or do something about it.
Yeah, so that gives us, well, for me in relationships, I've never had a relationship like the one that I have with you, and which is the difference is the depth of the honesty that we practice with each other.
Absolutely.
Which has taken us into our triggers. So what we'd like to share is our experience of being in a position where we want to deal and unload our life's time of emotional baggage. And how that's played into us when we're triggered. How does it happen? What's gone on? How has it progressed?
And I think the easiest way to do it is to give the example. So in the beginning of our relationship, our 3-day challenge.
It took us 3 days to get through it.
And it was more challenging because we were distant. I was in India and you were in UK.
It was over the phone.
The phone, and you shared the dream that triggered some unprocessed things in me, and I, instead of respond, I reacted.
So this is one of the key things that we've found is when a triggering has happened, there's two options really, to either to respond to it or come from a place of reaction.
That is the place from the old things, old triggers.
So after I'd shared this dream with Aisha, it had started off the trigger process in Aisha.
And I chucked the mark back towards the mark.
So, and then my response to, I'm feeling attacked, my natural response was to go into a defensive mode, and part of that defense is chuck that muck back at her.
And part of me was feeling again under the attack, so I felt like, okay, I need to protect myself again.
So it looked something like this.
No.
So thankfully, pretty quickly, we managed to grab hold of the muck, put it down, and what's going on?
What's happened? What is this thing that is really, really triggering us? And come from the felt place, from the heart.
And for me, the first things that popped up were, I have to honor Aisha.
Because I promised myself to say everything what I feel, how I feel, and I would love to be honored with this space. And Mark promised himself not to
put a mask on again.
Yeah, because it's actually we promised to each other the same, that never put the mask on.
So like putting a mask on for me is, let's say Aisha, like in this situation, had triggered me after I'd triggered her. So I've got like two options there. Do I pretend that it's not hurt me and put a mask on and push that down to keep the peace, because finally I've got a relationship. I don't want to rock the boat. So it took a lot of courage for me to not put the mask on. Then at the same time, it's like, I can't expect you to put a mask on.
Yeah.
I have to honour
my feelings.
Yeah. And hold a space without judgment, even though the within the triggering there's judgment.
Yeah.
I think one of the sources of a trigger is judging.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're judging that other person for doing what they did. How about my feelings?
And then by taking this situation away from checking and putting in front of us, we were able to look and honestly talk for what it is, honoring each other's feelings and emotions. But the most important thing is, it's not about the winning.
No, I think, again, one of the other big keys is, it's not that anyone is going to win.
Although most of the times it's a win-win game.
It's a win-win, yeah. Approached correctly, it's a win-win. There's no one is losing. But it's not that a single person should win. If a single person wins, that means that the other one has had to put a mask on.
Or it's putting the mask on. What it means? Plunge the emotions, and the emotions and all the things that are triggered. It might be a small thing, are growing inside, picking up different things from everyday life, and growing and growing and growing and growing. And
starting to subconsciously act out.
Exactly.
Yeah, in odd behaviours, odd things.
So it's this part of yourself is taking a big piece of your life.
Yeah, and it's like a trigger. We can get over being triggered by something quickly, or I know for myself, I've had triggers that I've dragged around in my head for hours, days, weeks, months, years. We can drag these things around for a long time. So it's all about how do we diffuse them.
That's all about the diffusing. And sometimes it's enough of breath awareness.
I mean, I think one of the funny things is when someone's putting a mask on to something, you can physically see it.
Yeah.
Holding the breath, pushing it down, plunging that emotion back down. But getting back to our 3-day challenge, it took us 3 days before we got to the point where we'd recognised what's going on, set the ground. Look, I need to honour you.
I need to honour you.
Yeah, and then eventually we got to what was the root cause? And it was something very silly.
Yeah.
It was a little misinterpretation.
Exactly. And it was like, oh my God. And it had potential to grow to extremely big. Like something that would probably stop us being together.
It came from a genuine place, a genuine unheard of hurt inside of you.
Yeah, that was the part that wanted to be heard.
Yeah.
And that's all about, is being able not to point the finger towards other persons, to be able to really, really genuinely look into yourself and ask which part of me wants to be heard. And openly say to the other person, it's not that I'm angry. I feel angry. I feel that the words, even the breath, the words can diffuse the potential of the whole situation.
Yeah, as we'll come to a bit later as we get on with our journey in triggers. So that was our first one. From my side, it was scary.
Yeah, for me as well.
I didn't want to lose her, but I wouldn't put a mask on. And it's being ready to be absolutely honest, and so good when you have someone who is ready to not judge you.
Yeah, and
that helps.
And as well, look at your own things inside.
And again, the same thing goes. It's not just about not judging the other. It's not judging yourself and allowing this thing to rise.
Exactly.
To honour it, to give it attention, to allow that part that's been trapped down inside of us to start its healing journey.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was wonderful once we got to the end of our 3 days experience, but then as time's gone on, there'd been little triggers which had triggered us for a moment, and then it's like, let's look at it, let's unpack it and honour it. A couple of times, and they can sneak in so
dressed up way and just
and
like
mischievously that I can remember that time when we were driving, and I can't even remember what.
That's what happens if the trigger is diffused. You can't remember.
Yeah, it was something small that had managed to start to do this little bouncing, and then it was like, oh, I can feel a little muck chucking here. So our first response, once we'd recognised it, was to breathe together for
5 coherence breathing, 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes of just breathing in and breathing out for 5 seconds, and then after we'd breathed together for 2 minutes, we're like, what was it? And it had just gone.
It was so funny.
Yeah, totally.
We started to laugh. It was just, I now I don't remember what, and that was like literally 2-3 minutes of breathing, and it was like, what we are talking about? It's like, doesn't matter.
And this, I think, is the great power of breath awareness, and having breath awareness in your life as a tool to help to diffuse situations, to bring you back into a calm and rational and balanced place. But then, since then, there's been other times I can remember. Again, I can't remember what it was, but you said something, and immediately I felt anger in myself. So my options there were to push that anger down, and to let it come out, which would just provoke
a part of me that wants to be defensive
but instead, the moment of noticing that anger, it's like, Aisha, the thing that you just said made me feel angry. And diffusion.
And as well, if you plunge the anger, the other person will feel it. Doesn't matter. The energy field and the facial expression, as you said, the plunging and stopping the breath straight away, the other person will feel that something is not right. Yeah,
and the unconscious acting out of things begins. I watched a video a while ago from Urquhart Tolle who explains it well. It's like initially, prior to meeting you, for the best part of my life, something would trigger me, and it would be like being hit by a train. You didn't see it coming, bump, it's hit you, and you're just off on the journey on this train, lots of this person, and whatever's going on. Then the next step to start to overcome the triggers is to recognize, I've been hit
by the train.
By the train. Whoop, can we stop and look at it? Which is what more or less happened to us in our 3-day experience. And this was all prior to seeing the Urquhart video. And thankfully now we've got to the point of, I feel it coming.
Yeah, the train is coming, but it didn't hit me.
Yeah, and it can be, what you've said has made me feel this way. Okay, can we go there? What you've done has brought this reaction in me. And it's such a wonderful experience now. It's like triggers are starting, or have become, an opportunity of celebration.
Yeah, and the growth, because they are having this potential, this seed of being able to look into yourself and see what is inside of me to be transformed, which part of me really wants to be heard.
Good. Yeah, what wants to be heard, what's being trapped and exiled inside of me that's like hurting about something.
It's like, please look at me.
So it gives us an opportunity to, I've found a bit that needs some attention. Can we give it some attention? It's a wonderful, incredible journey.
So as a sum up, the triggers are the potential
to grow. Yeah, to grow and to release. And I feel, even though we've got the privilege of having each other to work with, we can also do this on our own. Of being honest with ourselves when we're tricked. Right, where has that come from? Can I investigate that and be with that part that has become upset? And not to throw that upset on someone else.
And then if we de-armor this trigger, when we help this part to speak out, it as well helps to deal with the outside world. Yeah,
it helps to deal with everything. We become more present, less absorbed in
external triggers.
In this mountain of triggers that are.
I like things. What you said, that you have this this Teflon T-shirt that is the triggers are coming, but they are just sliding. But I like as well that this Teflon T-shirt is a breathable T-shirt, so you can breathe in and out through it. Because it's not the armor; it's something that helps you not to. So the things that are not sticking on you, but at the same time you can breathe in and out with a full heart and engage with people on a heart level.
And the materials of a Teflon T-shirt are awareness. Becoming aware of what's moving within inside you through our felt sense, through that sense of feeling the emotional stirrings and movings within. And breath.
I wanted to say breath. No, go on.
And by working with breath awareness, being able to breathe into something allows us to feel in a much safer way and really get in touch with those things that are there.
Yeah, because breath is connecting us from the outside world to the inside world and all the way around. So just let's breathe.
And honesty,
vulnerability,
and non-judgment. And as it's again, it's so easy to judge this thing that's appeared in me as bad. It's not bad. It's just a hurt part. And the same goes for when we see things arise in others that may be triggering. If we can let go of our judgments, that is a massive key to words.
It's a gem that we can see, that it's the part, as internal family systems are calling it, it's a part that wants to be heard.
Yeah, and honouring it with love. And it's a hurt part of us. And as we start to, as we start to cultivate these things, it's like starting to wear a Teflon t-shirt. It doesn't mean that life's muck isn't coming. It is.
Yeah. But it doesn't stick, and it doesn't grow in us as a big snowball effect.
Yeah, Teflon t-shirt allows us to respond to what stuff is coming to us, rather than get lost in reaction. And so as it comes, we can see it for what it is, and it doesn't stick on the Teflon, it just slides back off. All right, and I hope you enjoyed this chat. If anyone else has got any experiences around triggers
and how to deal with them, we are happy to hear from you.
Would love to hear some responses to this. This is just our personal journey with it, which is continuous. At this stage, with us dealing with triggers, they're not really seen as triggers anymore. They're opportunities
to grow.
Yeah, opportunities to grow, to let go, to heal.
Thank you so much, and please subscribe,
like, and comment. We'd love some interaction, and especially with subjects like this, or if there's any other subject that you'd like to hear us talk about.
Yeah, we are happy to share.
Share our honest,
personal journey, personal experience.
Personal, authentic experience.